Yeah, good morning to everybody. Yesterday we have stopped the video while discussing the various components of the sprinkler irrigation. We have discussed about various components such as pump, laterals, main pipeline, risers, etc. Of course, in olden days they used to prepare with aluminum and then um, iron or steel pipelines they used, but nowadays we are using HDPA, PVC, and molded plastic pipes for particularly this drip and sprinkler, you know, heads. So these are some of the new developments over a period. Of course, nowadays using this plastic particular type of things is very much common. Everybody. So let us go for our original presentation, which we have started yesterday. Let us see. Already this components of sprinkler irrigation system has already been, this slide has been discussed. In the case of aluminum, nowadays it is being replaced with so many other modern, plastic like things, PVC and then HDPE and so on. And now we are talking about sprinkler heads, next important component. In fact, out of all the components, the most important component is sprinkler heads. What is the sprinkler head? Already, I think we have earlier very minutely shown there in this slide the top one, sprinkler heads, which is very important, very important component here. You can see. So in these sprinkler heads, normally there is a lot of mechanism is there. Of course, I don't want to explain all those, but details of twin nozzle rotating head sprinkler. You can see the spring terminal, weir washer, oscillating arm shaft, cotton pin, main nozzle. Okay, this is basically the water ejected from a very fine orifices or nozzles. And for controlling, there are springs, thrust springs, and then bearings, and these are all mechanical parts. So normally this thin nozzle part. Let me draw this one a little bit. Yeah. So this is one. Next, let us discuss about this revolving head sprinkler. The most agricultural sprinklers are of the slow rotation type. They may range from small single nozzle sprinklers to gained multiple nozzle sprinklers. So generally, in the agriculture we use range from a small single nozzle to sprinkler to double nozzle or triple nozzle, or even to a gained multi nozzle, which we are going to discuss about gained nozzle also. Particularly the gained nozzles are operating at high pressures, whereas single nozzle and other things a little bit low pressure. But for coverage, it all depends on the coverage. For example, in twin nozzle, just now we have seen, it covers, if one nozzle covers, for example, when you go back here, one nozzle covers the nearby areas, other nozzle, main nozzle covers the distant one. So like that, there may be a single nozzle also, only one side coverage also. So depends upon your coverage, you can select the nozzle. The combination of pressure and slow rotation results in the jet water being thrown to a considerable distance. That is what. It's a combination of the pressure and slow rotation we will combine and then throw the water to a required distance. Single nozzle sprinklers are used for low water application rates, basically. Sprinkler heads most commonly used have two nozzles. That's what I was mentioning. Most commonly used sprinkler heads are two nozzles. They are having two nozzles. one to apply water at considerable distance from the sprinkler. That's what we were showing. And the other to cover the area near sprinkler center. So this is what earlier also we were explaining. One to near to the sprinkler, and then other to distance of the sprinkler. Okay, so these are the twin nozzle head. Then there are other things like perforated pipe. Perforated pipes are simply a pipe is there at the end of it or at the middle, or it depends upon your sprinkling. You will have perforations over the pipe. So basically it's a perforated pipe. Irrigation system consists of lightweight coupling for irrigation pipes with the lines of small perforations in the upper 1/3 of the pressure. That is the upper 1/3 of the pressure perforations are made. Its use is limited to nearly flat lands as the discharge is influenced by difference in elevation of the ground surface. So when the surface is very flat, even, then you can use these things. But by and large, the utilization of this perforated pipe system in the sprinkler is very limited. Okay, so then we go for this pop-up sprinkler head suitable to lawns. So this is the one which you see many of the offices and other things, where this pop-up sprinkler head exposed view. Otherwise, this is a one cover. This cover is there. When it is not in use, it is closed, and when it is in use, due to pressure, it will be popped up. So this cover is up. So this is a nozzle adjusting pin, nozzle drive, bearing assembly, retreat spring, and then so all these things are there. So when you are using this is for mostly for the lawns. When you are using for the lawns, this is used. Okay, then while we are using for the lawns, this is used. Then let us go for the next one. The irrigation of high plantings. JNTUH sprinklers are used to irrigate close growing high planting such as sugarcane when closer spacing of sprinkler is difficult. So when you are using a sugarcane like type of plantings, normally these normal two nozzle or single nozzle, they don't work. You cannot work with them. First of all, there is a high plantings are there. You have to raise the nozzle system above these plantings. That's why they are called JNTUH sprinklers. So they are used for a very high planting plants, high height. When the height is more, a normal height is around 1 meter or so for any crop. But when you are having this type of sugarcane, the height is extended more than 2 meters sometimes. Okay, this sprinkler usually has one large nozzle with the smaller supplementary nozzles to fill in pattern gaps. Okay, they are limited to soils with high infiltration rate and not suitable in regions of appreciable wind. When the soils are they are limited to soils with high infiltration rates and not suitable in regions of appreciable wind, because when the height is more, the wind effect is very high. That's why you cannot have these JNTUH sprinklers when the wind is more. Okay, then JNTUH sprinklers usually have low water distribution efficiency. Then just like in a twin nozzle, you cannot have such a very good efficiency, but it has low efficiency rates. That's the one disadvantage with the JNTUH sprinklers. But when a special situation is demanding, that is close growing high plantings, you have to use this sprinkler only. Next, application of fertilizers in the sprinkler irrigation system. This is very much important, because normally you are using less water. So to just meet the roots zone system, sprinklers better we add within the water itself. So soluble chemical fertilizers can be injected into the sprinkler system and applied to the crop. which is much more efficient rather than spraying this or broadcasting this fertilizers in a solid form into onto the gland. Okay, so application of fertilizers, and particularly they are soluble into this water. The two operations, namely irrigation and fertilizer application, is done simultaneously, thus saving the labor required for fertilizer application. Of course, that is not a big thing, but what is important thing is how to apply this fertilizers to this field. Particularly when along with the water, there are more than one way of introducing the fertilizers into the system. One simple way is simply introducing it from the suction side of the pump through a pipe and then regulated by a valve. Okay, so right from the suction side. But in this case, pump impellers are likely to get corroded unless they are corrosion resistant material. So while you are using from suction side, normally let us go back to that original figure where we were talking about something. Yeah, when you are introducing this suction side, okay, then these pump impellers get corroded unless they are corrosion resistant material. So another way of introducing this is from this side here with a valve and then Venturi. So when you are creating, another way is Venturi fixed in the main line creates the differential pressure and allows the fertilizer solution to flow in the main line. So again going back there, by using a Venturi, you can introduce, instead of that fertilizers going and circulating all these, then you can introduce here by using a Venturi. This is a little bit better option. Okay, so anyway, fertilizers can be added to the irrigating water in the system itself. So that is a one good sign and very good method. So then let us go for the next thing is some minor components are there in the sprinkler irrigation system. What are the minor components? Some debris screen, desilting basins, booster pumps, takeoff valves, flow control valves, etc. Okay, so debris screens are used to keep the system free of trash that might plug the sprinkler nozzles. Already we have talked, the sprinkler nozzles are very fine orifices. Any silt, if it is embedded into these nozzles, it will simply block. Screen should be fine enough to prevent the entry of wheat seeds and other small items. Debris screens are usually needed when surface water is used as a source of irrigation. That is why normally bore water, not that much debris is there, but surface irrigation from canal source is there, you should definitely use debris screens. Okay, then desilting basins, they may be required to trap sand or suspended silt when the water comes from streams, open ditches, okay, or even well water having some silt. So desilting basin, but desilting basins should be large enough to provide protection for at least one full day. That means you must silt it up. I mean, one day usage of water should be stored after desilting it. That is very important. Then booster pumps. Booster pumps are needed to set up pressure in the existing water supply system. Sometimes when the sprinkler system is large, you need more than one pump. That means at the middle of the system, one more booster pump is needed to keep up the pressures. Similarly, takeoff valves. Takeoff valves are generally needed to control pressures in the lateral lines. Okay. Then flow control valves. Flow control valves are used to regulate the pressure and discharge of individual sprinklers. It may be helpful when unevenness of ground causes an unequal distribution of pressure. So, ground causing unevenness pressures, then these flow control valves are needed. We'll stop this video here. Thank you very much.